Button. Okay. And we are live. Hey, everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties. It's just the nature of things sometimes on the internet. We are flying by the seat of our pants for Horror Talk tonight. So that's beautiful. But tonight we are going to be discussing animals in horror, and we have a special guest tonight. We have Joseph King, the maker of Slaughter Squad. And now this is going to be an exciting thrill because Slaughter Squad has like this little good teaser cartoon animation that is pretty exciting because
awesome.
Joseph has massive skills in the animation department for 2D animation, at least. Maybe I don't know, maybe 3D too. He'll have to tell us. But he's got major skills in that department, and he definitely he employed them on his teaser. So
wait a second, Joseph, you made this thing yourself? The animated prequel?
Yeah, I did.
That is freaking
I did it all
amazing.
On my own.
Oh my god, dude! That's
aside from the music, yeah.
Do you realize that you're going to get a lot of business from other CG creators once they find that out? I mean,
yeah, I've been talking to this to people.
Okay, good, because it's pretty astounding. It's amazing.
Yeah, actually, I thought it's really cool. This particular one is like very reminiscent of Ren and Stimpy's animation style, which is I thought that's really cool. I love that. So
yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, pretty spectacular. So, Drew, where are we starting off? Are we starting off
awesome
with talking about Slaughter Squad?
Welcome to Horror Talk.
Yeah. Well, yes. Now let's clarify because Horror Talk is I mean it's Sim is now a regular member of Horror Talk. So so I want everybody who's watching knows that Sim is now official Horror Talk cast. And we have now achieved like a podcast status because there's 3 of us. You know what I mean? So since there's 3 of us, we're technically podcast status now. And we've been going on. I mean, I don't know how many episodes we've had, but we've been doing Horror Talk for a few months now. So, I'm
happy to be joining you guys.
Yeah. We're almost have enough people for a cabal.
Yeah, well, I actually started a Facebook page for it also, so we'll be starting to promote on Facebook as well. And so those of us who use Facebook, that is, so and then at some point we'll be streaming to both platforms simultaneously. So we might even throw LinkedIn for those people who actually use LinkedIn. We might even like do all 3 platforms at once. So that could be fun. I hear that we can also mix in Twitter, but I haven't seen that. I haven't seen how to do that yet. So,
no, I know. I have some friends that are part of Indie Vault that they stream on YouTube, Facebook, and they do a podcast at the same time. All that with OBS.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing it all with OBS. They're doing it. So we might switch up our standard. That powered by StreamYard logo might go away. I don't know. I've been a big StreamYard fan until today when they hit me with glitches. I had a scheduled broadcast, and then we ended up starting like a freaking almost half hour late because technical glitches. So that's although you get those with everything, I guess.
Yep.
So yes, because
what the F, StreamYard?
Yeah, right. And Brian has to he has another interview for himself for his book 6 Gun Gorilla over on Mandy Summers' channel. So I'm going to try and get us wrapped up in time to send to everybody who's watching at that time over there so that we can all support Brian on Mandy's channel. So
what we shan't skimp on taking a look at Slaughter Squad.
No, that's why we're going to start with taking a look on Slaughter Squad.
Well, all right.
So there are monsters and all kinds of elements of horror, but one of the things that really exists in horror that makes it kind of awesome. We got Comic Book Bob in the house. Hail, Comic Book Bob. I wanted to say that there's Cujo, there's Jaws, there's Arachnophobia. There's if for some reason if we don't feel like we've covered this thoroughly enough, we will extend the animals in horror to next week. You know what I mean? Well, maybe not next week. Another episode next week. Next week we have decided to do cars specifically.
Yeah.
Specifically, Christine.
Yes.
And the car. You can't forget the car.
Yeah, the car was cool. That's the one with the hood was crushed in to look evil, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was
Right.
awesome.
It had the horn.
yeah.
It went bang.
Yeah. So that's next week. So for you car buffs next week, that you got to tune into that, and then we'll probably end up getting back to animals again. Maybe we'll feature them individually, whatever. But today, the reason why we are focused on animals and horror, because there's a nice horror sequence in Slaughter Squad that Joseph will tell us about. But until then, it is promo time. So first, let's start with the promo. He has 2 animations to prove with this, but first we shall go with the. Am I clicking the wrong thing? Hold on. Hold on a second. I was on the wrong window. You can't click the window in StreamYard and have it play, just so you guys know.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Daisy, Thundersparkle, Rosemary, Willard, and Kilgore are Slaughter Squad, a team of escaped livestock plotting to build an army and take over Texas. Hi, my name is Joseph King, creator of Slaughter Squad. This started with a random idea. What if a bull picked up a machine gun and walked into a slaughterhouse? Inspired by Looney Tunes, Ren and Stimpy, Rambo, Animal Farm, and The Punisher. This is going to be a darkly humorous, action-packed gore fest. This is the story of Kilgore and his ragtag team as they go up against the corrupt governor of Texas, Mr. Evil, and his army of slaughterbots. And a matador, chupacabras, aliens, a chimera, and giant mutant rats! Slaughter Squad is written and illustrated by me, Joseph King, with colors by the talented Steve Cannon, and letters by the hardest working letterer in the biz, Eric Weathers. Go to Indiegogo right now. Get Slaughter Squad Volume 1, a double feature including the first 2 parts in an 8-part series. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's a great intro. But this sells.
Yeah, that's boring.
Yeah,
Show the cartoon.
Yeah, right to the
Well,
cartoon,
I
right?
I liked watching you draw the veins in Kilgore's neck. That was neat.
Yeah. No, this is the animation. This is the I don't know what you'd call it, the animation pitch, the animation teaser, the prequel. What would you call it?
Yeah, it's kind of an animated short. This was before I was planning on doing a comic. Actually, the comic came after.
Okay, so this is the original idea. A lot of comics kind of start out that way, and that's totally okay because I'm guilty of the same thing. So
Yeah. It totally stands on its own, just as like satire.
Here it goes.
You sure you want to go back in there? A bull's gotta do what a bull's gotta do. Eat hot lead, suckers! Huh? What? Mess with the bull, get the horns! Shit just got real. Who the hell are you? I'm 100% psycho beefcake. Think you can handle it, Susie? Fuck you, asshole. You asshole! Your horns are strong. That's what she said. Why would she say that? Let's burn this motherfucker. Hell yeah. Your mama would be proud. Mama. Kilgore. You're dead meat.
That's a lot of fun.
Thanks for laughing at the corny
Bravissimo.
joke.
Friggin' fantastic, man. Friggin' fantastic.
All right, so the first thing that we need to address is that your campaign says it's got 4 days left here. Are you going to expand your campaign? Are you going to go like a 60, or is that your last 4 days?
I think I'm gonna relaunch it with a lower goal. My goal is too high, so I'm working on setting up a new campaign with a lower goal, and I'm probably gonna change around a few things.
Okay.
You realize that a lot of us have done the same thing. Like, I know that my first campaign for Six Gun Gorilla failed because I set my goal, I think, at like 15,000 or something like that. And I dropped it down to 3, and then I managed to cross the threshold for my new campaign. I set it for 500, and you know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we could still rally the CG troops to get this through because I have seen campaigns at the last minute go through the roof and cross the finish line. But if you can't, don't be discouraged, because so many of us have made the same mistake. And don't think of this campaign, whatever you do, as a failure. Think of it as a pre-campaign.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering
yeah,
how much. Yeah. That's why I was wondering how much time you had left. Like, if you still had 30 days that you just haven't like launched yet, then there would probably still be time to make that 10K goal, with enough pressure. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the CG troops manage to rally. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna learn from it, and I think I think with the lower goal it'll be it'll be doable. I'll be able to hit that goal, and who knows, maybe in the long run I'll hit 10K, but just
Yeah, well, playing the long game, is an approach. I have to say that today I just reached 6,800 on Captain Love. You know what I mean? And everybody, I mean, there's Captain Love has like no negative feedback.
Nope.
I mean, everybody fucking loves Captain Love, and for some reason it's still just creeping along like a freaking snail. But it's still moving forward. So I understand that, and I respect that approach, because I do it myself. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not everything can have like a big opening, because so much of it depends on hype. So much of it depends on your YouTube hustle, being on the right live streams, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, do you have the book finished, or is it still in progress?
It's still in progress, but it's like halfway done, or a little bit more than halfway. I finished all the line work, and
Nice.
I'm about halfway done coloring it.
Fantastic. Yeah, because one of the things that I always suggest is, if you have a finished book, to send that to the right people. Send that to like the major league YouTubers. Send one to Ethan, send one to Cecil, send one,
sure.
to just about anybody. And because if they like your book, they'll talk it up, and you'll see your numbers go right up.
Yeah, having gone down the path myself, I always say that focusing on the higher confiscate YouTubers is definitely not the way to go, unless you already have an established relationship with them, and then even then it's not even. I mean, it's like Adam Post launched his book, you know what I mean, and I think Malin came onto his channel, but he's doing all right, but he's not like pushing it hard on any major channels. I would say that when you get to that point and when you relaunch it, you definitely want to do the rounds, maybe coordinate ahead of time, like are you going to launch right away? Or are you going to do like a mailing list first and build up some hype? What do you have? Do you have plans? Have you thought that far ahead?
I think I'll do another mailing list, and then I'll finish up everything. I'll finish all the art and have it like ready to go before I launch again.
Okay, so you'll just ride the mailing list until it's done, and then you'll launch it. That's a good plan, because then because then everything that you make goes into printing, and then after printing, it's all extra.
But keep in mind, you can only keep a mailing list up for 6 months before launching campaign.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's a new thing they changed not too long ago. Before you could leave them open, as long as you wanted. But now they left it as in you have 6 months to launch the campaign. Otherwise, they'll just erase it.
I didn't know they erased it. I knew that you couldn't edit it after a certain point, but
They just completely dump it, huh? I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Oh.
yeah. Has anybody gone down that route and got those dumped yet?
Not that I know of. Not to the best of my knowledge. But go ahead, Sim.
It was in the changes of policies and shit.
Okay, so it's promised that they'll dump you. We just haven't. No one's gone down that road yet.
Nope.
I almost want to set one up just to see.
I took mine off for Demona. I should have left it open and see what happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they're gonna like penalize you. They're just gonna yank it down. And they probably give you sufficient warning, like launch your campaign or we're gonna pull your page.
Check out the little sketch I'm doing.
Oh yeah, let's check that out. What do you got going on here? Oh, look at that.
What?
Sim's doing some fan art for Joseph now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I did a
That's what I'm talking about.
I did a sketch card last time, but right now I'm doing
Oh my god! Oh, that is badass.
Thanks.
When did you start on
thanks,
this?
buddy.
Like a few minutes ago.
Damn!
When we started going over his video, I started while we were watching the video. Yeah.
Wow! That is so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's a nice little warm up and change of pace when you're working on pages.
That's great. God, artists always amaze, surprise, and baffle me. They're like, because it's somebody that can't draw like a straight line with a ruler. This is like sorcery to me, like sorcery or like really advanced science. Like something I'm just like, oh wow, that's so cool.
Go back.
All right, well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's. I mean, if you're gonna change the campaign out, obviously we don't want to force people to go and back it right now, because then they're basically just gonna probably charge you a refund fee, which you don't want to have to deal with, because that's messed up. So, but what we do want to do is we want to hear about it. So why don't you? We're gonna switch back real fast. And then why don't you give us your elevator pitch? Give us, I mean, obviously the elevator pitch was kind of covered in that first pitch video, but why don't you tell us about the inspiration of the project and what's really cool about it, and then obviously tell us a little bit about the horror sequence.
Oh sure, yeah. So I mean the inspiration is like. You mentioned Ren and Stimpy. That was a big one, and then like just like Looney Tunes, old Looney Tunes stuff in general, and then like a little bit of the A-Team, the Punisher, stuff like that, sort of the military aspect, and Animal Farm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was reading Animal Farm when I was writing some of this stories, and I was just thinking about like animals setting up their own system of government and all this stuff, like the political situation. Yeah, they're definitely not communists.
These are commie farm animals.
Yeah,
that's great.
They're from Orwell.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen the old Alice and Bachelor animated version of Animal Farm.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like hardly anybody's seen it, but it's worth a look. Also, when I was looking at this, I couldn't help but think a little bit of Richard Adams or God, who was the guy that wrote Watership Down?
Oh, shoot, I forget his name, but
I forget his
no.
name too. He also wrote a book called The Plague Dogs, which is about escaped lab animals, escaped dogs that like may or may not be carrying a plague. So everybody's looking for them and hunting them down. That which was turned into a incredibly dark movie, animated film, which I could recommend for its quality, but boy, man, it's dark.
Plague Dogs. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty obscure. It's because it's this was like in the early '80s when there was this attempt to do animation for adults. That this is like around the time of Rock and Roll,
Like Fritz the Cats.
No, that more like
all original animation was for adults. I mean,
I know.
the animation started out for as openers for movies.
And comic books too.
Right,
Comic books were very, very popular with American GIs. It's just
Right.
Later on they become associated as just being kid stuff. But it was the same fellow who produced the Watership Down movie produced the Plague Dogs, and it didn't get a release in America, not a theatrical release. Eventually got a release on VHS. I don't know if it's ever been on DVD, but it's very well made. It's gut wrenching stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Expect it to like mess with your head, though. Be forewarned. You're not gonna leave that one with dry eyes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into it.
So,
It's like-
so
Oh, go ahead.
I was like, you're definitely going to have to come back on, so we can get people pushing for your mailing list and stuff, and then we'll leave this video. Obviously, will be up so people can follow up on what's going on with your with this when they're curious. About the mailing list, we can always talk about the book this way. I'm a little stumbling on myself because of the technical difficulties the show started out with, and then I'm used to pitching a book that we can tell people to go and back.
So true. You would recommend that people don't back the current campaign because then he'll have to pay like a fee.
Yeah, basically, I haven't done it myself, so I haven't experienced it. But the word is that if you don't make your goal, everybody has to get refunded, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the 5% that goes, not the 5%, the 5% fee Indiegogo isn't going to hit you with, but the credit card transaction fees, right? Somebody has to pay those fees.
Is that
Gotcha.
I don't know. When my campaign failed, I didn't have to do any of those.
You didn't have to pay any fees?
No, it was refund. Yeah. It was refund, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? Brian,
yes.
you too?
That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
almost nothing's changed.
So they have that. You guys didn't get hit with any extra refund fees.
Nope.
I heard there were.
Right, so
that's why.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Back it.
Go ahead and just put the money in there and see what happens.
Do it.
Joseph, do you want to tell us something about these characters?
Oh, sure. Well, you got Daisy on the screen right now. Daisy the cow. That's Kilgore's love interest, and
never seen a cow quite this fit.
Yeah, they've got
yeah, but she's too skinny for the stocks. That's why she's pissed. They're supposed to be like thick, meatier to be an actual.
Yeah. She's a skinny cow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, but is there some sexual tension between her and Kilgore? I mean, does Kilgore still have his junk? Because it looked like he'd been castrated in the prequel.
Yeah, he's missing his testicles, so he's got some that messes with his
Issues.
confidence levels. Yeah,
Right. Right.
and so that kind of complicates things because he feels like inadequate. Like this isn't gonna work out. I don't have any balls. I can't.
Right, because like when we see him in that prequel, I love that shot where he's just like lying on the ground, all fucked up, as we've seen with like so many action heroes at certain points in films. Like Conan the Barbarian, where Arnold's nailed to the Tree of Woe. The macho torture scene that's in like every Rambo movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love having those inciting incidents.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of those things everybody can relate to. I mean, especially other men. You know what I mean? Women understand that kind of stuff because they go through physical like crap on the regular basis because they have to go to the doctor just because they bleed monthly.
Yep.
So they I mean, obviously it's not the same as having your balls cut up, but for some reason women seem to have a sympathetic ear towards male genitalia pain.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same sympathy and empathy towards a female genital pain. To me, it's just like genitals are just genitals.
Leave them alone.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's
Give them love or leave them alone.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Oh yeah, like if a woman gets kicked between the legs, that's gonna hurt too. It's not just guys.
Absolutely.
Knocking the boob is one of the surprise one. It's like knocking them in the balls.
Yeah, definitely good.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, so Kilgore obviously is the name of the bull, right?
Yeah, that's Kilgore.
Yeah,
He's
with
the
his
man.
his
with the
bloody horns.
The team leader.
Or what's the name of the pig?
What's that?
What's this pig guy's name? The hog.
That's Willard. He's like the right hand man. He's the brains of the operation.
Because pigs are very smart. They're like dogs, actually.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the characters kind of their personality follows sort of like the cliche animal traits.
Oh, that's great.
So Kilgore's like angry. He's hard headed. He's bullish.
Bullish.
Yeah. Rosemary, the chicken, she's just crazy. She's fucking crazy. Thunder Sparkle, the horse, he's kind of a jackass, kind of a smart ass.
Thunder Sparkle. That's a funny name.
That is great. I love that.
Yeah, I was looking up like racing horses, and I was just looking for the most ridiculous name I could find.
That's great.
This is going to be obviously lots of violence. That's cool. I mean, it's like over the top violence. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I just love the look of this book. I think it's.
I'm dying that you put him in like the Clint Eastwood.
Poncho.
Yeah, the poncho.
The poncho and the hat. Yeah.
Yeah, his horns are poking through the top of the.
Yep.
He's a master of disguise.
And who's our sniper there? That's the is that Thunder Sparkle?
Yeah, that's the horse. Yeah.
Yeah, and sure enough, yeah, the chicken looks crazy. All happy, just busting caps. This looks like a real hoot. I'm telling you, man. This has real major hit potential, I think.
I'm done with my sketch.
What?
Oh.
Get out of here.
Oh, cool.
Little speed drawing. Yeah.
Simon, you are freaking amazing.
Oh, wait, is this the one you were working on last time? Or you just did this right now?
I just did it right now. Last time was a sketch card. Remember?
Shit.
Yeah, that's right. It was on paper.
I started that when we started watching your video.
You're amazing. Oh, wow.
It's not clean, but yeah.
No, it's still beautiful though, and especially for something that you just drew, just like as we were talking. That's astounding. That's awesome.
Really captured the essence of Kilgore.
I like the character. I told you.
Thanks,
What's
man. That's awesome.
It reminds me of, remember in Darkwing Duck there was that bull that was like a bad guy.
Yes,
Oh,
I do
no.
remember that. What was that character's name?
I can't remember. That's the thing. I used to like him a lot.
Oh, dude, I had to look that up too.
Can't say that I ever watched Darkwing Duck. So I watched a lot of Danger Mouse. Watched a lot of Danger Mouse, but no Darkwing Duck.
Then go watch Darkwing Duck.
Okay.
It is blasphemy. Come on.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Duck.
He is the speck of dust that's log in your eye.
Taurus Bulba. Is that his name?
That
Taurus
marble
Bulba.
that locates in your shoe.
And
That brick that's stuck in your chair that bothers your ass. He is Darkwing Duck.
You gotta be careful with this, Simon. Otherwise, we're gonna expect like something like this out of you like every week. Like whatever we're talking about. Yeah, Simon, go off and like do like an illustration of like, you know, some character or something like that. Some monster.
No. We will never make demands like that.
Never.
If he wants to, you know, that's his call.
I think it's fine. I like taking advantage of those little exercises. Like sometimes you get stuck in like working and, you know, it feels like you're not going forward.
Yeah.
So sometimes those little breaks helps a lot. Like I'll just doodle this, then go back, and I'm like, oh yeah, there you go. I'm feeling those colors again.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing with writing. Like sometimes I'll feel stuck on something, and then I'll go work on like a prose short story or a novella or something like that.
There you go.
Or a screenplay, and then I can go back to whatever to my comic script, and I'm like fresh. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
nice cufflinks.
Tortoise Bulba. Yeah.
That was a good show.
Another thing that reminds me, it's that. Did you ever see Elephant Man?
Oh,
The movie? Yeah.
the David
Sorry.
Lynch movie?
No, the series, the comic book series by Starkins. It's called Elephant
No.
Man. It's with Hip Flask. Remember Stark?
Oh, yeah. Of
The
course.
hippopotamus?
Yeah. Awesome
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Great indie
Especially
comic stuff from like the 90s.
And you know, it gives me that vibe when I look at this too. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I don't know what that is.
Check it out. But I'll send you a link eventually, bro.
Although it's anthropomorphic
That'd be
animals, which means that the war campaign guys are going to brand you a furry.
Oh yeah, I've already been exposed. I'm already a furry. Yeah.
Yeah, I already got the hat for it. We exposed them.
Yeah. The cat's out of the bag.
So to speak.
So to speak.
The bull's out of the bag.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as it doesn't turn into like an erotic book, we're good. We're good. It's good.
Well, I mean, that
Yeah,
goes
with the two cows, she's trying to get him erect and he doesn't have balls. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll you know, here's the thing though. I noticed that War Campaign goes over the top on the furry thing, and then Ro can't shut up about it. I wonder if Rose is a closet furry just because of that.
Oh, one has to wonder. It doesn't wonder. It kind of goes by that rule. He who smelt it dealt it.
Or
hey,
the lady
the gay lord.
That's too much.
Just saying.
Exactly.
Just saying. So, Joseph, are you planning this for? Is this a one shot? Is this a series? What are your long term plans, if you have any, or do you want to?
I have some plans. Yeah, it's planning to be a series. I want to do like 4 volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of planned out the story as an 8-part series, like 24 pages each. So I'm gonna put like 2 parts together, make a 48-page book, and make 4 of those, and then like I'll put it all together at the end.
Great, and you'll have enough for like a nice little trade paperback.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fat one.
Yeah, that's pretty much my plan too for 6 Gun Gorillas at 10 pages. So
Nice.
yeah, I think that's great, and we definitely want to help promote this, because I like to think of CG as a meritocracy, although it's not entirely. And this is clearly like one of the better books that I've seen from new creators. Like Drew was sort of suggesting before, there is a little bit of a tier system in Comicsgate. Do you know what I mean? There's like the top tier, middle tier, bottom tier,
And the high tea.
yeah. And you have to kind of like sort of like work your way up, and in terms of like getting attention, getting on like the right streams and all that stuff.
And you don't forget to put a featured tier, which is like your best deal for best money.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have a featured tier on there right now. But,
and what people
speaking of the,
oh yeah, we should discuss your tiers.
If people aren't going to back this book today, though. It's like
do you offer do you do like I did? Because me, when my campaign failed the first time, and in the comments, right, in the updates, I sent them like everybody that would return for my next campaign. I had the pre-launch page already set up, right, and everybody that would return, they would get something special just for sticking with me.
That's awesome.
And
I want to do something like that. Yeah,
it's giving them a bookmark or something. It's not something much sometimes, like a sketch card or something. But those returning ones, like that, it gives them like incentive, and hey, thanks for the support. We're coming back for round 2. I'm dusting off, and round 2, bro.
That's what I was actually thinking about doing the same thing for returning customers for Six Gun. I've been definitely giving that some thought. It's a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
And as for sketch cards, of course, those are a great incentive because what are you doing? You're giving people free art, not free, but you're giving them original, one of a kind works of art.
And you know what, Joe? I promise I'm doing 3 sketch cards for your next campaign.
Booyah!
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Well,
there you go.
As soon as you're ready to launch, reach out to me, bro. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Sam.
That's what we're about, man. That's what CG is about. We got each other's backs.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to get this book. I mean, the only reason why I haven't backed it yet is because I was curious if this campaign was going to go all the way through. That's like one of those things when I see people put a goal and it's like their first book and they're new to CG and they put a $10,000 goal. I mean, obviously, you've probably learned this lesson, the hard way. And that is that it's really difficult to reach those kinds of goals in the 60-day period.
Me and Joe, do you remember, Joe, when we had that discussion when you came out and I told you, like, see, like he's like, I might just relaunch. I'm like, don't use it as your get to know me card.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like, because like it's like me, it's like nobody noticed me until the last 2 weeks of my first campaign of Blood Hunt.
Yeah, no one noticed you till you were like on War Campaign with your shirt off. Let's be real.
No. That came after I got funded on the second campaign, bro.
I'm just teasing you, Sam.
Oh, I know. But if you make a promise to the brothers, you better live up to it. I promised that if I was getting funded in 2 weeks, I was gonna go and dox my nipples, and I fucking did like a man.
Like a man, like a real man.
I did it with pics, and I did it on a live stream.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, I guess I'll have to expose myself.
You don't have to. It's just a suggestion.
No, but I'm gonna bear it all. It has to be done.
I see it as like little rite of passage with them, right? It's you have to learn to not take yourself so goddamn seriously, even though you're being fucking professional. I'm sorry about the swearing, but it happens, especially when I get passionate.
Yeah, not me too.
And we need to be able to laugh at ourselves and absurdity. Period.
Yep.
Right.
You don't want to be one of those people that takes them. I always say, take your work seriously, take life seriously, take the people that you love seriously. Just don't take yourself seriously.
Right.
Because you don't want to be one of those cats. You see people that take themselves seriously and can't laugh at themselves, and they're just like miserable human beings. Not to be envied.
And it's to be respected. He rode that campaign till the end, bro. And he's gonna come back with round 2, and he's probably gonna freaking nailed it too.
Yep, I'm grabbing it by the horns and riding it till the cows come home.
Hell yeah!
All right, so everybody remember that Slaughter Squad is there. Joseph King. He makes this. He makes this Slaughter Squad. He makes these animations. These cartoons are awesome. You know what I mean? This is not
Incredible.
It's not amateur. It's actually like really good stuff.
Like really like super professional stuff.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Joseph. If you don't already have like other CGers beating down your door trying to get you to do trailers for them, you're gonna very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I've been I think I mentioned I've been talking to a few
But
people
be
behind
careful
the scenes.
too. Be careful too, because you
yeah.
still want to do your book, right?
Yeah. But everybody, if you back it, I will do I'll throw in some bonus when I do the next campaign. Like, so yeah, back it now. You get something cool when I relaunch.
Yeah, I mean that would make an excuse. I mean, for those people, if they were to back it now, then they would be like on a special list that you could access, just straight through.
Another
I like
thing
that
you can do what I did is you leave the campaign open. Don't erase it. Leave the closed one until you're ready to launch your email, right? So everybody, you can update them right there in your updates.
Yeah, you can update them in your updates, and you can also email your backers, even if they've refunded. Their contact and direct email through Indiegogo is available. So.
And you go around and you contact everybody to organize you a launch party, from Mendy to Vinny to Red to Nick's not Adam AF. All those guys, Red. Everybody will organize you a launch party. You know this. Everybody lines up.
Yep, and launch parties go over pretty well, especially when they're promoted for a few days ahead of the party itself. So,
and don't forget, war campaign.
Yeah, war campaign. All right, so let's get to the actual.
Let's talk some horror movies. Yes, indeedy. Yeah, animals have been a part of horror since, my goodness, I would say going all the way back to old campfire tales. Human beings were preyed upon in our early development by predators, by bears, wolves, that sort of a thing. I'm sorry, what did you say, Simon?
I said the fear of the wild.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Absolutely. And you got it, brother. Just the fact that we have the term nature is an indication that we don't really think of ourselves as part of it, that we're somehow outside of it. And and of course, animals have been utilized as objects of fear. Cujo was a really interesting example. I'm not really crazy about the movie. I think that the novel is better. Also, in the movie, it's both in the film and the book, it's a Saint Bernard. Now, Saint Bernards, if you've ever met one, they are absolute sweethearts. They're these enormous big teddy bear dogs, and they're super sweet. But if they wanted to, they could take your head right off. And in the Cujo movie, he's bitten on the nose by a bat and gets rabies. In the novel, something much more interesting happens. He's possessed by a demon. Because the demon's looking at this dog and going, oh, shit, I could do some damage with this motherfucker.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't read the novel.
Yeah. It's not one of King's best. But that's with the movie adaptations like Christine, for instance, I think the John Carpenter movie is much better than the Stephen King novel. But with Cujo, I would give it to the novel, and not that the movie's bad. The movie's not bad by any stretch. But look at that poor pooch. Oh. Those jowls. They're such cute dogs.
Yep.
Other animals, of course, Jaws. Is there anything worse than the thought of being at the bottom, finding yourself at the bottom of the food chain, of being devoured alive by a giant monster fish? Of course, and with Jaws, you're in the water, so you're just friggin' completely helpless. What other ones have there been? I know I shot Drew a bunch of links. There's after Jaws came out, there was a bunch of Jaws ripoffs. There was Grizzly, about surprise, a grizzly bear, and there was Piranha, about surprise, piranha. Although these were piranha that were genetically manipulated so that they could live in fresh water. So, they weren't just hanging out in the Amazon. They were, swimming around in rivers, gobbling people up. Then there's, my goodness. Then, of course, there's Willard, which is about a fellow who develops a very close relationship with a rat.
And I noticed that you don't seem to like the remake, which I thought was quite good.
You know what? I didn't think the remake was bad. It's definitely it's not one of the great remakes, like I thought the Philip Kaufman remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think that's better than the original. I think John Carpenter's remake of The Thing, I think that's better than the original. I think David Cronenberg's remake of The Fly is better than the original too. So no, I was just busting Drew's balls. Because he showed an image of Crispin Glover from the remake rather than Bruce Davison.
Yeah, that's what I put. I like that picture better. Just saying.
No, it's okay. It's all right. And Crispin Glover is a fantastic actor. But the original Willard, I think, is a better film. And then of course there's the super dark, depressing sequel, Ben, which features, I don't know, folks, if you've ever heard the Michael Jackson song, Ben, but yes, that's from the soundtrack to the sequel to Willard, and it is a love song to a rat. The next time you listen to it, listen to the lyrics. Yeah, it's about a little boy's love for a rat, a man-eating rat.
Awesome, because you gotta love the man-eating rats.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, the ending to that is just heartbreaking. We'll just leave you feeling gutted. It's like the saddest ending to a horror movie ever, I think. And I'm not saying something, because horror is a genre that's known for having dark and unhappy endings.
Yeah. So, like Cujo, the thing about that movie that really, I guess freaked me out is the dog got rabies. So it's like a regular, friendly, loving dog that gets bit by a bat and gets rabies, and then just loses his cool and becomes very dangerous and very frightening. I mean, if you've ever had like a dog corner you or something, you know what I mean, then you could realize that dogs can be very dangerous animals. So it's like, having one get out of control, you know what I mean? That was something that always scared the heck out of me. So,
well, especially a dog that's that big, They're huge. Like I said, they're these big cuddly dogs. They're wonderful, but if they wanted to, boom, off comes your head. Mastiffs are like that. There's a bunch of dogs that I wouldn't want to tangle with.
Wait, you got bit by a bat? Is that coronavirus?
No, it's rabies. Good old-fashioned rabies.
Coronavirus. All right, so another one of our features that we're going to discuss that was in the thumbnail, at least. Jaws. This is the wrong one, though. I grabbed the wrong picture. Hold on. I want this image.
Pinball machine.
There we go. So, Jaws. Now, that was a movie, again, scared the crap out of me, made it difficult for me to even swim in my own swimming pool for a while.
Oh, you too? Yes. Yeah. We had a swimming pool in my back in my backyard when I was growing up in the suburbs, and I did not go in that damn thing that entire summer. And my parents were trying to explain to me, the shark couldn't even fit into the pool. You understand this? It's like, like a 50-foot shark.
Dude, it took me a while. I used to have nightmares about me going on the high trampoline and coming to
Yeah.
jump and having the shark trying to get me every time I would jump.
Oh, I would like imagine that my bed was floating on the water.
Wow, that's creepy.
Yeah, and it really can't be overstated. Jaws was the first blockbuster. It was the first movie to do the kind of business that movies like Star Wars would later do. It was at that time the most successful film that had ever been released. And one of the reasons was because it had a PG rating, so people could take their kids. It is not a PG rated movie, or at least it should not have been. It should have been a hard R, because not only is it absolutely terrifying, it's also packed with gore. But Steven Spielberg somehow has always had this pass from the MPAA, you know, that's the Motion Picture Association of America, who rate the films, of giving his R-rated movies PG ratings.
Yeah, well, I can actually answer that one on that thing, because it wasn't R-rated, because there's rules for what defines R, and gore isn't one of them, right? Violence is, but this movie isn't violent.
Because it's an animal doing it. It's like the gore that's right. The reason, like, you could show
it's like nature, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like the forensic shows on TV are the reason why we have The Walking Dead now.
And there was no PG-13 then, so because it didn't qualify as R, that made it a PG.
Actually, if you'll remember, the reason they created the PG-13 rating was because of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Because that was so outrageously gory that people were starting to complain that their kids, like, they took their kids to see Indiana Jones and, like, they freaked out.
Yeah, that arc scene was freaking traumatizing for a kid.
That's what I heard.
The first time I saw it when I was a kid, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, and that's when they came out. Yeah, and so that was, they were like, okay, well, you need a special Steven Spielberg rating, you know, just for the Steven Spielberg movies. But yeah, no, Jaws is a masterpiece. It's a balls out horror movie.
It's got great comedy in it too.
It's got great comedy in it, adventure, certainly. You know, there's elements of Moby Dick, and the special effects are just astounding.
It still holds up, kind of.
Oh, more than just kind of. More than just kind of. I think it's
when Jaws gets on the boat, when he's on the deck, then it's a little like, yeah, you can kind of see the animatronicness, but when he's under the water, it looks awesome.
But it's still horrifying. It's still horrifying when he jumps up on the boat. It's just like, oh my God, it's like it's not staying in the water now? And that's the thing, is that it's not just a shark. There's a certain malevolence to that creature. The fact that it's always going to the beach, the fact that it's always going after people, and then just the relentless way it goes against the people on the boat. It's I mean, to me, the scariest moment in that film is when Chief Brody is the last man standing, and he goes down into, like, the bowels of the boat that is, you know, flooded now, and the shark just, boom, comes crashing right through the wall of the boat, like, into the cabin. You know, it's just like, oh my God. Talk about, like, being out on, like, a tree limb, hanging from a tree limb, and sawing. Yeah, fantastic. It's and yeah, the shark looks incredible. It was called Bruce. Evidently, it didn't work most of the time. They had incredible problems with it. It had rubber teeth, by the way, and but it you know, especially in the water, it looked terrifying.
Yeah, the actual Jaws that they used was after they were done with the movie, it was still functioning, so they took it to Universal Studios and incorporated it in the ride. And then I guess there was a lot of wear and tear on it, so they kept fixing it. And then on the repairs of the one at the Universal Studio ride, I guess, started looking less and less real.
Total non sequitur. Jason Aaron, when he started writing Star Wars comics, he got to go to Lucasfilm and go into the archives, and where they have all like the memorabilia, props and stuff from the movies, and which get loaned out to museums and such. And he said that Yoda looked toe up, but who was pristine? Howard the Duck.
Huh.
Oh, weird.
Nobody wanted poor Howard the Duck. But after Jaws came out, of course, it was such a huge success. There were a lot of ripoffs. Actually, John Sayles, who went on to become a really, really respected art film director, did movies like Eight Men Out and Mate One and Brother from Another Planet, Lone Star. He was hired by Roger Corman to write 2 scripts, and one of them was for Joe Dante's Piranha, which is a lot of fun. Oh, look, I mean, I'm sorry, that's still fucking scary to me. And poor Quint, man, going down. Talk about the belly of the beast.
The effects on that movie, dude.
Practical
effects. They sold it. They just freaking sold it well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was really well directed, obviously, and it was really well edited, and that's what that makes a difference. Yeah.
Oh, the edit. Yeah. No, the editing on that, the pacing, and everything. It's like music. It's just incredibly well made.
And music written as to haunt with the shark.
Yeah.
Yep.
John Williams.
He's like, yeah.
Who knew a cello could be that threatening?
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. Very, very, very sinister theme. The other Jaws ripoff that John Sayles wrote was Alligator. If you've never seen Alligator, that's a lot of fun. It's a really good movie.
I think I have seen Alligator. I know I've seen Crocodile. I don't know if I've seen Alligator.
Crocodile and Crocodile 2. Yeah, those unfortunately were directed by the legendary Tobe Hooper towards the end of his career. He'd fallen very, very low and was starting to do like some just awful like Sci-Fi Channel level crap. It was painful to watch, really. Thank goodness George Romero, never fell that far. Dario Argento, of course, his bottom shelf of crap movies is now so big it's starting to like mess with his legacy. When your bottom shelf is more full than like your medium and your top shelf, it's time to pack it in. The Italians, God bless their hearts, always quick with a ripoff, made a ripoff of Jaws called The Last Shark, which also had a mechanical shark that looked pretty much just as good, except it was just the head. And it was pretty much like a shot-for-shot, blow-by-blow remake. Normally, the Italian ripoffs, of Dawn of the Dead, for instance, it was the Italian ripoff was Zombie 2, because it had been released as Zombie in Italy. Most of their ripoffs are actually a lot of fun. They're very creative. They're their own movies, even though they're very clearly ripoffs of Conan the Barbarian or Quest for Fire or some of those combinations. Of Escape from New York with the Warriors and then some other crap thrown in. But The Last Shark was just Jaws. And Universal Studios was like, okay, we're going to sue your asses. And it wasn't available. The only way you could actually see it was on videotapes ripped from Japanese Laserdiscs with the Japanese hard-coded subs and everything. Yeah, look at that, man. That's a terrifying scene. He's on that boat and it's sinking. He is going down.
Yeah, this was epic. The
that looks completely real. That looks
I don't know
real.
about that.
Oh, dude.
It's good.
Dude, I mean, if you just showed that if I just looked at that picture right now and didn't have to look at it closely, I would think that was a real shark.
I mean, yeah, I think it holds up better than any of the CGI sharks.
Oh God, they're awful. I mean, by and large, I've never been a CGI guy. I've always been a practical effects guy. You know, I think CGI works best when you don't notice it, when you don't see it.
Yeah,
You know,
I think the peak of like effects was like you know, in the mid or late 90s when they were really getting good at melding practical and CGI together and making it look really seamless. Like Titanic, The Matrix, like those movies had a great combination of both.
well, it's easier to use to meld non-organic things. Like non-organic things look generally fine in CGI. You look at Starship Troopers, not very fond of that picture. But if you look at the bugs in that, and they're, you know, that movie is like 20 years old or more, and the bugs look fine because there's something sort of almost mechanical about insects. But if we're doing more organic creatures,
the Starship Troopers is one of my favorites. It's a great movie, even though there are like some really cheesy elements to it. I mean, there's
no
really
MI
cheesy
armor. How could you do Starship Troopers without MI armor? Aliens is more like Starship Troopers than Starship Troopers, but
yeah.
That's
no. There's other cheesy elements, like for instance, Denise Richards all of a sudden being like, you know, the ability to be a super badass after she gets like punctured through the shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the Beverly Hills 90210 stuff. You know what's wrong with Starship Troopers? It's a satire.
Yeah.
And it should have been played straight.
It was made to be a bit like RoboCop, and that's what it made it a decent of its own. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
the book they played it straight, and it was a little more serious, right? And yeah, it was missing the power suits and everything.
But it was still fun, you know. It was still like a young adult book. Here we're looking at John Voight and getting a loving hug in Anaconda.
It's a love bite. Oh yeah, right. And then he gets partially digested and then spits him back out again.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Snakes actually do that.
Yes. That's one of the things that
while they're digesting, they'll spit out their food and run off.
And eat. Well, that's one of the reasons why the anaconda is considered evil in that film. It's mentioned that they'll actually vomit up what they've eaten just so they can eat more. Right? So that's like it's not just a maw that's trying to eat you, it's voracious. It's just going to keep going. Once again, like the shark in Jaws. You figure, you know, Robert Shaw would have made like a pretty good meal. You know, that it would have been satiated for a while, but no, it just kept coming. And actually, the special effects in Anaconda aren't bad. Although I have to say, the best reason to watch Anaconda is, man, there is this scene where Jennifer Lopez is running down a dock wearing like shorts, and she crouches down and she bends over, and you get an absolutely lovely view of that beautiful onion-shaped masterpiece of a derriere of hers.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go watch it right now.
Yes, seriously, like, god damn. I don't know if the rest of you have seen Anaconda. I know it even had a couple of sequels.
I actually
did. I like those type of B-rated movies, or you know, I still like it.
Oh yeah, I've seen Anaconda.
Yeah. The best part of Anaconda is when it's just eating everybody. You know what I mean? It's like that's just I mean, come on, you got to think about the cast and who's in it, and you know, and it's
yeah.
I mean, it's just you don't expect these people that, you know, to be. I mean, because, you know, a lot of these people were still like, I mean, you got to think of who's in it. I mean, there was still a lot of people who are famous now that were still small time. I mean, John Voight was huge already, but he's always been huge, you know. But
J-Lo.
Ice Cube? Is Ice Cube in that?
Ice Cube,
yeah, Ice Cube did it, but the brother with the what the fuck is his name? Owen Wilson? Is that it? No.
Is he in that?
Yeah. Let's see. What the
all I remember is J-Lo's butt.
Yeah,
J-Lo's
man.
butt.
And yeah, that is the best selling point of that movie. But John Voight's scenery chewing is also fantastic. It's one of those performances that is hammy on purpose. You know, like Anthony Hopkins is one of those actors that's very good at that. That's hammy, like for the sake of being hammy, as opposed to William Shatner, who's like a ham but doesn't know that he's a ham.
Oh yeah, that is Owen Wilson, isn't it?
Yep.
I get him mixed up with his brother. Owen and the other guy.
Luke.
Yeah, Luke.
Luke. Yeah. I don't know which is which. I use the names interchangeably.
Luke is the one with the black hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from Idiocracy.
Right.
Right.
From a lot of movies. I mean, you know, Luke Wilson is actually the one that was famous first.
Isn't he the one that married Buffy?
Is he?
I'm not sure.
I did not know that.
I'm not sure. I'm not.
Oh, hey guys, I gotta get going.
Joseph, it has been a pleasure. You know, like I was saying, don't feel discouraged in the least. If you don't make it with this campaign, you're gonna make it with the next one.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm not down. I'm the stakes have never been higher. You can't beat this meat. I'm ready.
That's what I like to hear, man.
The fires like the fires.
Hell yeah.
Right on, brother. Definitely, man.
We got your back for the relaunch.
I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You got it, brother. Take care.
Yeah. Take care, man.
Catch you later.
And Simon, I can't believe you belted out that that illustration that fast. that was a cool and a kind thing for you to do.
I was inspired, and you know, it's a good exercise.
Most definitely. So, Drew, what else we got here?
There is one more. I'm trying to bring it up here. There's one more I definitely want to go over before we wrap up for the night, and I'm looking for the specific photo I want. I was gonna line all these up, but then StreamYard gave me shit, and you know what I mean. I was all like, "Fuck," you know what I mean. I was like dealing with them for a good 30 minutes before we're able to do the show. So.
Oh God! And then there's all the spider movies.
That's where I'm going, man.
Dude, Kingdom of the Spiders. If you can get if you can find the ending to that, it's Kingdom of the Spiders with William Shatner, who I just mentioned before.
Kingdom of the Spiders, huh? I was.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
It was
arachnophobia
that gave me the chills, dude. That's the only thing that gets me. I don't like spiders, and I'm the type of guy that faces all his fears, right? So I don't react like I would like I was a kid. Dude, I play with a tarantula and all those big spiders, but it still gives me the fucking creeps.
Yeah,
I can control it, but
yeah, sure. You know, I've never had a problem with spiders because where I live in upstate New York, the area that I'm in, you don't really see very big ones. But I was visiting a friend that was a little bit further upstate, and she comes out of her bathroom and looks at me and is like, you know, you're a guy. Can you like help out? There's a spider in there. And I'm just like, you're being so girly, like whatever. And so I go in, you know, with a glass to like catch the spider and like throw it outside. And it was a big old wolf spider. And I was just like, damn. I was like, oh, yo. I mean, I managed to catch it and get it outside, but I was very careful not to touch it.
Yeah, we understand that it's not the small spiders that bug me. It's those types.
No, big spider bad.
Yeah, I used to have a tarantula, and it used to freak everybody out when I would hold it and like come around them, and they were like, "Just get away from me!" I'm like,
I remember the first time I grabbed one in my hand, right? The chills got behind my spine, dude. When I started, like, it was just doing its safety net. Like, I know from now, right? I know that it does the little safety net in case it falls, right? And me, I'm like, is it fucking getting ready to fucking bite me? I'm like, did you get the venom out of that thing? My friend goes, no. I'm like, okay, I'm getting sweaty now. Then he told me that he's just doing a safety net, and I'm like, oh fuck, okay, I'm good. Then I start petting. It's freaking cool.
That is. A lot of people are also scared of snakes. They think that they're slimy. I don't have a problem with snakes. I don't have a problem with tarantulas. It's just when people have put them on me, I'm kind of like, okay, where is it going? I'm like, can you take this thing? But for like a minute or two, I'll it's they're okay.
It's not really much about the animal that we fear more than the venom.
Oh, sure, yeah. If you know that it's something that can bite you, of course, whenever people have pet snakes, they're almost always constrictors.
That's what those type of like insects and those imply in horror movies. It's the fact that they can drug you. No, it's like you remember like that Komodo dragon. They can just
because there's so much bacteria in their mouths.
Yeah, so you'll just pass out. They just have to follow you like a turtle. They don't have to hurry up. They know that you're gonna just fall.
Yep.
Right. They know you're done, so they just wait it out.
Yep.
Now this is one that always got me in my childhood as well. I don't know. I haven't previewed this, but if you guys ever watch Creepshow?
Yep.
Oh, of course.
Love that show.
Why is it not doing? Why am I not?
Was it Body Bag? There was a show by Carpenter.
John Carpenter's Body Bags.
Yeah, that was great.
Creepshow, of course, that was by George Romero and Stephen King, and now it's a TV series that's on Shudder and is quite good. But I guess Drew's thinking of the infamous cockroach scene.
Yeah,
I saw this movie 5 times in the theater when it came out. Right, 5 times. Each and every time, the audience that I saw it with was screaming during this fucking part. E.G. Marshall.
Did you scream at least once?
No. No, there's nothing scary about Creepshow. Oh, and he finds them in his blender. That's like people were like shrieking like little girls during this entire segment. Anything with the roaches, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, and for a movie like that, they have what's known as a roach wrangler. That's to say, there's always somebody that's in charge of the animals, and
a roach wrangler.
Roach wrangler.
That's just wrong on its own level.
I mean, I'm assuming that the guy does other stuff, and handles different kinds of bugs or animals or something like that. Let's hope that's not his lot in life, is just to be a roach wrangler.
Yeah, I don't know. The one thing, I mean, like I can deal with ants, I can deal with spiders, I can deal with like all that stuff. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've just had spiders just crawl on me, they just all the time, like just like all up on me all the time, just because they come from the garden, they come inside, they just crawl up on you, and then like, oh, but roaches, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they represent dirtiness. You know what I mean? They're just kind of creepy. They're just kind of creepy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that they get me. They're the things that get me. And then that Creepshow, when I saw that one, still every once in a while, if I'm having a nightmare, that it could be that scene. Not the one we watched, but actually before that, when the cockroaches are coming at him like crazy. But
yep.
Oh yeah. So because it's a special night, and Brian will be going over to hey Sim, you want to post a link to Mandy's channel for people that'll
give me a sec.
So everybody, when you're done, we're gonna sign off here, and Brian's gonna be over on Mandy's channel talking about his book 6 Gun Gorilla, the new one out. So you guys are going to want to go over there and show your support for Brian. And in fact,
or not.
Did you find the link? Because I actually found it.
Yep.
Okay.
So in there.
Oh, sweet.
It's directly to the show, not just the channel.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. So
tonight it's Mike Murphy, Brian, and Ben the Fusier.
Yes, and Ben was just on with us the other day. So yeah, so this will be a good thing. Everybody go and show your support. And we're gonna sign off now so that Brian can get there in plenty of time. Everybody, thank you for coming.
All right. Good to see
Have a
you,
good
Drew.
night.
Good to see
See you
you,
next week.
Simon. All right. Peace, love, and soul.
Have a good one, bro.
Peace.